everyone, this is Gwen from My Spiritual Butterfly coming to you live. I'm going to be joined tonight by my dear friend, naturopath and nutritionist Christine Richardson. I'm just waiting for her to join and then I'll bring her in because she's going to be talking to us about cellular health. But yeah, if you're joining me, let me know, say hi. I'm just waiting for her to pop up and then I can get her to join. Hi, if you're here, say hi. I'm just trying to read the names here. But let me know. Just put something in the comments, chat, say hi. I'm just waiting for Christine. Hiya. Hi. I'm trying to read the names, but you know when it's like a long name? Golden Girl. Hi, Golden Girl. I can see that. My Life. It's so tiny. I need better glasses, don't I? Hi everyone, thanks for joining us. Stay on, I'm just waiting for Christine to come on and then she's going to be talking to us about cellular health. Hi Lorraine, good to see you. Nice, just waiting for her to join us. She should be joining shortly, but it should be an interesting chat about ourselves and how we can heal for ourselves. Here we go, 1 second. View request, go live. I'll give you a running commentary there. Okay, so Christine should be coming in now. She is giving her permission to join. She's connecting. Yay, she's here. Hey. How are you?
I'm very good. How are you, Gwen?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you for joining me tonight. I was giving everyone a running commentary. Like I'm pressing the button, I'm doing it.
Thanks for having me.
Oh, bless you. Thanks for coming on. It's really good to have you here. I know, obviously tonight we're going to be talking about cellular health from the perspective of a naturopath nutritionist. Obviously, I know you well. We met a few months ago now and just have become really firm friends, which is great. But it'd be lovely for you to introduce yourselves to anyone watching now so they know who you are and what you do. So, yeah, it'd be great if you could do that.
Thank you, Gwen. So my name's Christine Richardson. I am a qualified naturopathic nutritionist. I have been in the corporate world, similar to Gwen, for 15 years before changing my path and following my passion, which has always been working in medicine. But yeah, it didn't feel right to study medicine at the time. So now this has taken a full loop because actually what I love about naturopathic medicine is that it is the natural way. And no pharmaceuticals, no unnecessary intervention. Obviously, allopathic medicine has got its place. It's very much necessary, especially in emergency situations. But we can do so much more in terms of prevention, but also healing from within naturally. And that's what I am all about. I've set up a business which is called, it's centered all around natural healing. And that's where Gwen and I bounce off each other very well because it very much plays into each other.
Yeah.
So I think I'm very excited to be here tonight because we're going to see the parallels from you working with Gwen or following Gwen to how that sits within naturopathy.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, thank you, Christine. So in terms of cellular healing, what is it you feel we need to know or understand about ourselves in terms of healing, being able to heal ourselves?
Yeah, so for everyone who has been following Gwen for some time, you will have heard her talk about that our bodies are made of 75 trillion cells, more or less. The books differ in numbers. But that's the same principle that a naturopathic medicine takes. So we actually look at the body-mind as a whole. So I've studied naturopathic medicine, which is very much a holistic and spiritual approach because we totally understand that you can't just separate the body from the mind and that we are all energy and therefore it is all connected. The food that we eat is energy. It's fueled by an energy. So the quality of food that we take in has very much an impact on our cells. And the way I have trained, which is what I very much love, is all centered around the cell. So these 75 trillion cells, let's call it that number, we look at them like individuals. So they are like a football team, although there's trillions of them, and they make us as a whole. So it is very much important for us to care for every single cell the way we would care for the whole team. If one cell is unhappy, it has an effect because we're all energy, and it will spread across and potentially cause dis-ease. And we're looking at it, calling it dis-ease. We're not calling it disease.
Yeah.
Because we're just simply dis-eased. So we're looking that, I don't know how much your audience knows about naturopathy, but actually it is very much the approach of looking at it like a fishbowl. If you took a fish to a doctor, a poorly fish in your fishbowl, the doctor would take the fish out, look at it, maybe inject it with some medicine, put it back in and say, go and see how that goes in 5 days' time.
Yeah.
But the way we go about it is we look at the entire environment, the body, mind, and what's outside of it, what's inside that fish. We would take that fish bowl apart, put the fish into a clean bowl where it's safe for now, and then clean out that environment, make it all fresh, put fresh water in, put the nutrients in that the fish needs to thrive, then pop that fish back in safely, and you wait 5 days. And you will start to see that that fish can heal itself from within, because you're giving the cells the environment and the energy that they need to thrive. And that's the same for us.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. But in terms of energy, we always say that every cell is like a mini point of consciousness. You know, it has the same sort of systems that we have in terms of a respiratory system, getting rid of waste, digesting, all of that is kind of like, you know, representing us on the macro level. But yeah, we are the environment that our cells exist within, and therefore that has to be correct, the correct frequency, the correct vibration in order for them to thrive. So,
yes, absolutely. And from a biological point of view, all our cells always are striving for homeostasis. So that is that balance in which it is the ideal environment to thrive in. And when we're out of balance, whether that is in just a body part or all over energetically, that's when dis-ease will manifest. So what I really liked about your latest newsletter, which I am subscriber to on Sunday, was the 3 different ways our cells are changed. And I wanted to pick that up because the cell really has, if you simplify it, the main components of a cell are that wonderful, supple, kind of fatty membrane, the lipid membrane that holds it all together. And then obviously inside is the nucleus, which has got that, all that DNA, brain in it. Then we've got lots of other elements in there, in particular the mitochondria, which are like the powerhouse. That's the energy generating element of a cell. So you can see it's like a factory. Every single cell is built that way. That sometimes, whether different functions or not, it's built that way. So the way we can influence these cells is by making sure we take in the right nutrients so that these cell membranes remain supple. Therefore, we need lots of wonderful healthy fats, the essential fatty acids, and we need hydration. Those are the main ingredients really, because then that cell wall can remain flexible enough to let things in, nutrients, and also flexible and intelligent enough to allow the waste out, the toxins. So I just wanted to touch on that tonight in terms of how important what people can do to help themselves. Obviously, we're all energy. Everything plays together, and it's never just about the food that you're putting into your body, because you could be eating the best quality food. If you're only thinking negative, your cells will be feeling all negative.
I mean, what I what I'm aware of is that same membrane that you're talking about has receptors on the outside of it. So they are constantly receiving signals from the bigger environment that you're talking about. So when we are feeling stressed and releasing stress chemicals or thoughts, the energy, it's picking up the energy, that cell is responding to that as well. And in that membrane is like an electromagnetic field. I think I might have mentioned that in the newsletter on Sunday. Yeah. So, you know, that's light, that's electricity, that's magnetism, whatever you might call it. So there's information there that's constantly exchanging or receiving from the greater environment, which is us, our body. Yeah. But it definitely would be interesting to understand what else we can do to kind of make sure that structure stays resilient and is able to function as it should function.
Yeah, I think actually, you know, working on, so body mind is how we describe the entire system of a human being. And I think that tells you the two things that you need to work on. That's your body. That means good nutrition and moving your body, so exercise, fresh air, sunshine and vitamin D, etc. And then it's the mind. That's where you come in. And that's where your work is very much based on. It's all that energy. And I actually wanted to pick up on something that maybe not all nutritionists do, but certainly I and my colleagues that have trained together. Yeah. We very much are working with the body mind. So it is very much digging into the history of someone's health history. Going as far back as their ancestors, so grandparents on both sides, parents, because we inherit that energy. So say you have got a very much, say in your family there's a lot of cancer in your history, that is a sign of a very much of a dehydrated, very, very fearful cell. And dehydration is always causing stress for the cells. It means that cell membrane hardens. It is no longer able to let the right things in. You can eat as much organic stuff as you want then. If that membrane is so hard, it doesn't let it in. It will just flush past. It also doesn't let the toxins out. And the toxins need to come out. Because otherwise you're creating that diseased picture. So we very much look at the history, and we realize how much toxicity has been inherited, how much are these people predisposed, and how much do we need to work on getting it out, and where does it sit? So in which organ does it actually did it deposit? But we're working with Chinese medicine then, and you can really nicely tell where it sits, because different emotions manifest in different organs.
Right, yeah. Again,
so anger, for example, anger sits in your liver. So anyone with anger, not issues, but you know, we all can get angry, but some can get, you know, if you always get angry, or you're feeling irritable or frustrated a lot, or you can't see the wood for the trees, that's a sign that your liver really needs working. And you can feel that actually. So when we have a similar thing in terms of Reiki, so I can actually feel that energy imbalance in someone's liver when I'm giving them a Reiki treatment. You can feel the energy there. So as you said, acupuncturists, the Eastern medicine have said that for centuries, thousands of years. They've known and that's what we're tapping into from my training, which is so lovely that we're taking Chinese medicine, Ayurveda, we're taking, you know, German hydrotherapy, which suits me well because I'm German, and you know, all these various elements, and we're adding that to the nutrition science and creating that holistic picture. I actually brought a book along tonight, which is Candace Pert, she's a doctor, and it's Molecules of Emotions. I think it will read the opposite way around. I'll put it in the comments, it's fine. It's why the way you feel, the way we feel. And it talks about how molecules become manifest, sorry, the other way around, how emotions manifest as molecules. So if, say we have a trauma, again, which goes back to your newsletter, it affects the cells because it creates that anxiety. And if you imagine the cell then feeling anxious, if we feel anxious, that means our 75 trillion cells feel anxious. So if we experience a massive trauma, that affects our cells. And if we do not know how to process that and let go of it, it will manifest as a molecule, and we carry that around with us. So say many people will probably suffer from grief, lost family members, and that will sit inside them, and grief sits on the lungs.
Okay, yeah.
And you will be very prone, obviously, say, to more infections in your respiratory system.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
So that brings me kind of back to the water element of any kind of stress on our body causes dehydration. So if there's one tip that people want to take away tonight is hydration. It's all about hydration, because stress causes dehydration. Dehydration causes more stress for the body, the cells, and it's just this perpetuous cycle, which you can only break if you start hydrating properly, and that is with clean, filtered, still water, ideally. But you know, tap water is better than no water, and you can even leave tap water out overnight. So say you pour it like this, leave it out overnight, and the chlorine will evaporate. At least it's a little bit cleaner. Or you put some crystals in, and you have some cleaner water than it was straight out of the tap. But 2 liters of water every day, ideally away from food, is the best starting point to hydrate. But also swollen foods.
Okay, what do you mean by swollen foods? Fermented foods?
No, I mean, imagine your porridge oats. They're really dry. So even though you pour milk on it, it's still dry, and your body needs a lot of water to bring a lot of water to digestion to actually properly digest. So it will have to draw it from your body, but that's not what we want. We want the food to arrive in your stomach readily absorbed with water. So not drinking it with water, eating with water, but you actually you soak your porridge oats overnight. So however you do it, with water or milk, just prepare it the night before and just leave it sitting there, and that will mean those porridge oats are really absorbing that water, and when you eat them, it sends a message of a hydrated, well hydrated food. You also should be you know, your rice, your pulses, they should all be soaked overnight in order to swell them, but at the same time you're actually activating them.
Okay.
And it makes them more potent.
Right. So you're saying no dried food really whatsoever. I'm trying to think what I eat that might be dry. I mean, if I'm having bread or something like that, then that's obviously going to be a no-no. Or is it okay?
Well, now we're going into the detail.
Yeah.
Honestly, bread is another whole story in itself. I can talk all night about bread.
Yeah.
But yeah, you want to make sure that you eat whole foods, ideally, so not highly processed. So breads are usually highly processed, and that's very dehydrating. Highly processed foods are very dehydrating.
Right.
To your cells. So that will send a message of stress.
Right, to the cells.
To the cells. Yeah.
So, okay, so it makes sense. If I'm eating lots of salads, vegetables, they naturally contain quite a bit of water in them already. So that kind of makes sense.
Vegetables, fruit are high in water content. Obviously, if you eat nuts and seeds, it is ideal to soak all your nuts and seeds overnight and then rinse that water away.
Yeah.
That is not only to hydrate them and activate them, but for nuts and seeds, you're also actually washing away the phytonutrients, which are in the outside of the nuts and seeds, to protect it from its own natural predators. It means it actually makes them less easily digestible. So if we eat the nuts and seeds just like that, expensive ones, really good quality ones, you might only be taking in 20-30% of the nutrients. If you soak them overnight, wash and rinse them, and then eat them, you can take up nearly 100% of the nutrients because they're ready and easily digestible for you.
That makes sense. And that moisture can only be derived from water. I mean, you said milk as well, but is it any kind of liquid or just milk?
Well, no, I didn't say milk. Well, I meant milk as in
I think in terms of porridge
oat. Yeah, milk. Obviously, ideally not dairy milk, because that comes with its own problems. Again, could talk about that all night. And that's maybe where people would like to, if they want to hear more. I have done lots of live talks in the last few months on my social media, Facebook. And they're starting to be transferred onto YouTube. So if you want to check those out, I've done one on dairy, I've done one on water. So go back and have a look for more information. But yeah, water, the body is made of 70% water, and our brain is 80% water. So the first thing to help yourself with is, for example, if you have a headache, drink more water. It's usually a sign of dehydration when you're starting to feel pains. And most of us don't drink enough. And if we drink tea, coffee, alcohol, whatever, that actually dehydrates us. So it takes away from, say you drink 2 liters of water, but you drink 3 cups of tea a day, black tea, then that takes away from that 2 liters and you end up with less than probably a liter of water intake. So yeah, ideally water, that's the best thing because our body is made up of 70% water. So you want to replenish it with water. The rest is like food. Look at it like food. But fruit, vegetables, and swollen foods, whole foods is what's fantastic for our bodies.
Fantastic. I mean, do you find, because I know sometimes when I go on a sort of trip to like have lots and lots of water, I'm finding I'm going to the loo quite a lot, and does that stabilize after a while? A lot of people sort of are frightened of drinking too much water, so they don't want to have to go to the loo every 5 minutes.
That's a very good question. Yes. So if you imagine that, you are dehydrated, and you're just starting, you suddenly think I've listened to Christine and Gwen, and I'm going to drink like my 2 liters of water, and then you're going to find that you're going to run to the toilet like crazy, which you probably will if you're dehydrated, because now you have the dry hanging basket syndrome. Imagine that hanging basket that you haven't tended to all winter, and suddenly you're chucking 2 liters of water at it at a time. What's it going to do?
It's straight out.
Going to come straight out, because don't forget what I said before, your cell, if it's dehydrated, it hasn't got that subtle soft lipid membrane around it that lets things in, out. It's harder. So this water bounces on the cell membrane, all of them, the 75 trillion, and just runs straight through. So what you need to do, obviously, is drink your 2 liters, but maybe start with sipping it. And find a rhythm, increase it slowly but surely. Until you find your natural thirst. And when I learned about this first, I was dehydrated. I wasn't drinking enough. And I thought, what's the natural thirst? But, I can feel it now because I'm so used to drinking lots of water. Today I was out and about, and I actually told you before, I was horse riding with my kids. And there was no water inside because I was just holding on to the dear horse. And when I came back, I was like, oh my God, I had a liter of water in one go. I could feel it in my head. I could feel it in my body. I just really felt not right. When you know. That's your natural thirst. It will come.
Fantastic. Yes, I remember that. It's really good to understand that, actually. So hopefully people don't get put off drinking water and they carry on, understanding that phase will gradually go, and then they'll be able to retain more water, and that water will be used by the cells. So that's really good to know. It's a question that's on my mind. So
Yeah.
it's really good.
And
Fantastic.
it really helps. You know, a really good trick is, for example, I've got a pint glass.
Yeah.
So if you find yourself a glass that holds a pint, and then you fill that up, you know, 5-6 times a day.
Yeah.
Ideally, you'd want to be drinking one straight upon rising, and one before you go to bed.
Yeah.
And then the other 4 you put in between. So between your breakfast and lunch.
Yeah.
Between your lunch and your afternoon, if you have a snack in the afternoon. Then maybe again after dinner.
Yeah.
And then the one before bed.
Yeah.
And you're there.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't start my day without having some water. I think it flushes out the toxins as well. We have to say, so it's good. I think people also don't understand that water carries information. It's a conductor of energy. So it does actually feed your cells in more ways than one, just pumping them up, but also getting information to them.
Oh, water has got so many functions in the body. It's just incredible. Simply, obviously, cleansing, like you said, hydrating. It regulates body temperature. It aids digestion, like I said before. You need that for digesting your food. And it lubricates your joints.
Yeah.
So
even helps with the eyes.
Yeah.
So better vision. If you're sometimes you just can't focus. Usually that's dehydration.
Yeah.
You drink in
Absolutely.
your eye. So yeah.
And the eyes are actually the orifice in Chinese medicine of the liver.
Okay.
So when you have eye problems, obviously always start with water. But if that doesn't help, you need to cleanse your liver.
Which is a whole other subject in itself.
Not tonight.
No, we'll do that another night. Brilliant. Thank you so much, Christine. Is there anything else that we should know in terms of cellular health? From your perspective?
I think we've done brilliantly.
I think you've done a lot, yeah.
I think if no one's mind is blown by now, they deserve a medal.
Yeah, there's a lot there, but at least people have got practical things they can start with water.
Exactly.
We talked about emotions, so we do obviously need to be careful of what we're feeling, what we're thinking, understanding that our cells are listening to all of it. You know, we are the commander of our whole body, it's the master of our body. So I think even coming from that perspective is interesting. But yeah, there are, as you say, 75 trillion cells listening to us. And they're either going into that stressful state where they're freezing and not thriving, and then we're ending up with disease. Or they're thriving because they're hydrated, the emotions that we're feeling are good, and we're releasing really lovely hormones. And yeah, so it is kind of really understanding that what's going on up here is affecting everything in terms of the body. So yeah, it was great.
So much so,
Great to get a bit more detail about it. It was good.
Yeah, and if anybody wants to find out more, every Monday night at 8 o'clock GMT time, I hold a Facebook Live. And it's at the moment it's coined Mindful Mondays, but it's all about nutrition, mindfulness, the body, naturopathic health. So there's lots of tips from making your own natural cleaning products to, you know, more scientific talks on dairy and protein. Some of them you can watch back, and obviously if you want to join me at KR Natural Healing on Facebook or Instagram, you're very welcome to do that. And I've also got a website which is christinerichardson.co.uk. Just watch the spelling. It's Kristin, because I'm German and that's how it's spelled. Everyone will call me Kristen. Person, yeah. But that's fine, I'm used to it.
Lovely, yeah. That your Facebook Lives are so informative. There's so much content there. So there's a wealth of information that people can choose from in terms of topics. So yeah, hopefully people will go and join on the Monday. What is it? Monday 8 o'clock. So
Monday's 8 o'clock.
Yeah. So do join Christine for her Facebook Live. Check out her website as well. And if you have any questions, she's also on Instagram. You can connect to her there. But otherwise, I think that was amazing. Really, really insightful, really useful. And it's just great that we stop taking our body for granted and really sort of understand that it's an
absolutely
thing. Yeah, we need to nurture it. But yes, thank you so much, Christine. Does anyone have any questions or comments before we go? We've got Golden Girl. I can't read that last one.
On a mission, Gwen.
Thank you. My eyesight. Golden Girl on a
mission,
mission, saying thank you. So much information.
Thank you so
very
much.
informative. It's good. It's good. But yes, if no one else has any questions, we've had lots of likes and hearts come up, so it's really good. But if not, thank you so much, Kristen. It's been really informative. I've learned a thing or two as well. And it's just interesting to see how all of these things are kind of connected in terms of the energetic work, but also the naturopathy. People get more of an insight into what that is now, because a lot of people don't know. And nutrition, it's all connected. Nothing is kind of standing alone. So it's great to kind of get some more information on it. So
yeah, and I've loved tonight. Thank you so much for having me.
It's been brilliant. Thank you as always. Have to have you on again. Thank you so much, my darling. Take care.
Thank you. Take care. Good night, everyone.
Night. Bye, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
Bye.
Take care. Bye. I don't know how to stop it.